Hi, Blastpop here. It's been quite some time, but I felt like doing a video for a change, and I felt motivated, so I had just completed a game of Great Battles of Alexander, the Macedonian Art of War by GMT Games by Mark Herman and Richard Berg. This is a solitaire scenario that I played, although it's not designed as a solitaire scenario. I played it as such. And I played the Crocus Fields, and that was the Phocians versus the Macedonians under Philip the Great. And it was a cakewalk for Philip. When you looked at the setup that is on the scenario, that's a suggested setup or a potential setup. And the Macedonians are the red, and the blue are the Phocians. And they said you can set up any way you want within certain boundaries. So I tried to do a good a setup as possible for the Phocians, and it didn't help much. I had played, since I got this copy of the game, this is my second scenario I played. I played the first scenario, which is Epirot Valley, I believe it is. I could be wrong on that. And so I tried to minimize the advantages of the phalanxes that Philip has. And Philip has several phalanxes and some heavy infantry. And the Phocians have heavy infantry as their main force. And so on the flanks, I tried with the Phocians to defeat Philip, and they did pretty good over on this side, on the left flank of the Phocians. But what ended up happening is Philip's phalanxes just advanced and routed and massacred the heavy infantry of the Phocians. As you can see here, there's a lot of red, which are the Macedonians. And once a two hex heavy infantry or phalanx rout, if they haven't rallied by the end of the turn, they just break and run. And so there's very little I could do. Now, admittedly, it's been a long time since I played a lot of this system, and it's an old favorite of mine, but it's gone through a few editions since, and I played some SPQR some years ago. But I went back into Alexander because of the relative simplicity involved in playing. And the Macedonians, frankly, are a hot knife through butter. And the real challenge is trying to either delay the victory as long as possible as playing an opposition to the the Macedonians, or you need to just try to hang on. Basically, that's all you can really do. In the scenarios, they give like who's the favorite side, and more often than not, it's the Macedonians. So it's more of a history lesson, I guess, to understand the Macedonian art of war. And it only gets worse when you add Alexander here. He is not present, and his father does a more than competent job of eliminating the Phocians. And over here, you can see the dead pile and the points. The lost points were 103 for the Phocians and 44 for the Macedonians. And that didn't even feel that close even. That's how bad it was for the Phocians fighting the Macedonians. A couple Macedonians over here routing away. But overall, you can see it's a massacre. But it was good. It was, I'm learning a lot. And in this scenario, I did a lot better moving through the scenarios, through the scenario. And this was in just 3 turns. It almost seems like it takes longer to find your units and set them up than it actually is to move them out and knock them on down. Anyway, this has been Blastpop. It's been a while, and I hope to do videos a little more frequently than I have in the recent past. Please like, subscribe. Bye.